teamwork now. So that ways we just go from the ground, make sure that it's permitted correctly, make sure there's a land department knows that. And then from there, we get the design team, geotechnical, the surveying team, we get into architect involved with their mechanical, electrical, their structural, all of that stuff all integrate together. In that meantime, the general contractor will be starting to clean the area, make sure it's ready, ground ready, look for materials to make sure there's enough materials coming into the concrete, all AB and the aggregate base. So that's the experience I get. I mean, what I bring and also bringing my licensed general contractor on some of these projects. So anyway, Aiden, yeah, I was just trying to present this, and I wanted to do a power presentation on some of the work I've done, but I guess just limit on time. I was actually at the Western Agency leadership meeting in Flagstaff, and then also had some meetings in Phoenix last week too with some architects that want to work with me to go after some of these projects. One of them is actually one of the top firm, Ginsler. They asked me to prime a project with them, the retrofit and possibly put some in a 4-star hotel buildings right here. So they asked me to help prime that, and hopefully we win that project. But if we not, we continue moving forward now. So, and this is Rick Pearson wants to say
Good day, everybody. Thank you for having us. I just also want to say, right along with the Topeka Chapter House project, the warehouse that we did for them, that was a great project. And also, we did do 22 home electrifications too. At the same time we were building this building. It was needed in the community. I know everybody has electrical issues and that sort of kind of thing. We can't do this stuff for free. You know, I'm being serious. It's very, very expensive to do any electrical, any contracting period, any material that gets hauled or any material that's here has to be hauled here. There's no decent material to do ABC, what we call aggregate-based material underneath buildings or anything like that. Concrete, everything has to come, 2 hours plus away. It's not fun. Me as a general contractor, I have to find these resources and get them here, no matter what it takes. And unfortunately, like with the Topeka Chapter House project, that project was quoted out at 2018. We're at 2025 right now. Those prices have quadrupled. I mean, a $1.2 million building right now, today's prices is 3.89 million. That's how much it went up, and it's very expensive. Fortunately enough that I had time on my hands, I was able to get the project in on their budget, what they had, and still deal with everything on a timely manner. The biggest issue we have, like with the ARPA funds, that's on a timeline. You have to spend that money. If you don't, you lose it. You don't get it back. You will have to use it in a timely manner. I don't know when your timeline is. I heard it was like September 2026. That's coming up. Me as a contractor, it takes me years and years and years to get projects underway. Everybody says that, yeah, there was a Maverick built last week, or there was a McDonald's built, somewhere, on Navajo Nation, and it took a month to do it. No, it took 10 years to get that building built. I know for a fact, I've done projects, Yavapai, try, in Prescott, WM Grace built the building, Yavapai Tribe owned it. Walmart had a 100-year lease on the property. That building there got changed into a American Furniture Store, which they're out of, with Shiprock is where the guy's from, and who owned that place. Well, I had to have 20 signatures just to touch the building, and it was unfortunate that American Furniture didn't last very long because they were thinking of bigger and better projects, and that's what they ended up doing. Now they're a warehouse company. It's things like that the community can make money off of that too. That building there, it was an $80,000 lease a month. That's how much money that Yavapai Tribe brought in just for that one Walmart that was sitting there. And then American Furniture had the secondary lease. They got it cheaper, worked out for them. You know, it's not a money thing for me. My thing is, I'm a general contractor. I'm here to get things done in a timely manner. If you guys sit on this too long on any ARPA funds you have, you're going to lose it. And that's what I'm here to say. And if you need somebody as a contractor and a good structural engineer, Stanford Lake here, I've been working with him. I mean, 3 different companies that I've owned, you know, and these companies are still thriving, you know. It's a blessing to have him on my side. And if you guys need anybody, feel free to give us a call. We'll come out, we'll price anything you got, you know. I understand, you know, if it's a ways out, that's okay. We're here to make sure things get done for everybody. Okay, thank you very much.
I have a question. Actually, I have a few questions. Are you a professional engineer and
Oh,
are you certified throughout the state?
actually, that's a good question. When we do this project, like as a professional engineer, you have to be a license to be able to work in the states. I'm a licensed professional engineer in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and it's pending in Utah. But what they tell me is if you have a license in one state, you can cover majority of the other 4 states. But for me, it's important to be licensed in different states and stuff. But also, I'm a priority one because sometimes some of these tribal enterprise or Nation department or even chapters, when they do RFPs or requests for or statement of qualification, they want to make sure you're a priority one or priority two. So that's important. And then Rick he's a licensed general contractor. So he's able to do, and he's also bound. So he carries that what call the insurance, liability insurance. Same for me as a professional engineer, I have to carry they call it a professional liability insurance. And mine is at 2 million, so very important. So that's a good question.
And then I have a few more. Do you contract with Navajo business owners? If so, who? Second question, how do you deal with scope creep? Scope creep. Scope creep. When a project has not to exceed budget limit. And the last one, how do you deal with residential and administrative issues?
So the first question she asked about was if I work with other Navajo owners. If you're referring to like private owners, I do work with private owners, someone that wants to extend their home on their home and stuff like that. I've done that in Yamato, and also we're possibly be working on one in Saley. So these are private owners that want to extend their homes or configure the inside of it, renovate the inside because they're expanding their family, or they're reducing because their kids moved away, so they want to reduce the size of their rooms. So, like I said, we have a residential designer that can put that together. I can put that together, design that, and then Rick can come in as a general contractor to renovate that. So, and then we put the price together. So that's how I do.
Okay.
What was that second
And then
question?
how do you deal with scope creep when a project has a not to exceed budget limit? How do you deal with that?
That would be basically like at the beginning we would put the material price together, make sure that it fits within budget stuff. Like he mentioned before, we worked on this project. We had to find out the main thing is the foundation and like getting the materials for that. And we had to find alternatives way to make sure we stay within that budget and stuff like that. So that's one way, and then the other way is just finding for me like also finding designers that you work with in the past, a general contractor you work with in the past, and you negotiate with them and to say, hey, I only have this much budget for this project. Can you work with me to keep the price down, stuff like that. So in that way, then I can put that together, and then it stays within budget, and I give back to the stakeholders or whoever decides to hire me. So that's how I do it.
Wonderful. And then the last question, how do you deal with administrative issues and residential issues?
That's really just communication, like with this. one project we worked with this inscription house. We'll work with the chapter manager, make sure that if there's a problem that arise, then we either have a meeting with a private meeting with them, or they bring it up, possibly bring it up in the chapter meeting. I also did a chapter report every month since the project started until this past month, so that they know that how can we resolve these problems of that. So for that, I think that had to work for me. Communication, both written and also oral.
And how often do you check in with, you talk about communication, so how often do you check in with elected officials and chapter managers?
The chapter manager, you really have to communicate with them weekly. So they either check in with me or I adversely. If they don't, and I check with them during the week. Because especially with you have a bigger project like what we worked on, the warehouse, make sure that we're progressing. If there's a setback, I know there was some setback, meaning the schedule, maybe the materials isn't going to come in until a month later, then we let the chapter manager know that you had to adjust the schedule. And then once the chapter meeting starts, you let the president, vice president, the chapter officials know that, hey, this is what's going on. So then they may come back after a chapter meeting or a special meeting and say, hey, let's give us a reason why that we fell behind, or is there costs increased? Why is that? So we explain to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I know, okay.
So you're talking about ARPA funding?
Yes,
Is that what you're working with here?
No, it doesn't mean it has to be ARPA, but the project that we just completed was ARPA one project. So
So you just mentioned that ARPA there's a deadline on it this year or this coming year.
yeah, I don't know
What's the
your
problem?
deadline here. Everybody has a deadline,
So-
as far as ARPA funding, you might wanna check on it.
So
yeah.
So I know a little bit more of that because but each chapter, like these chapter officials, they know where that funding has been earmarked. So back in the summer of this year, it's already been earmarked. That's the last time that, based on what the controller of the nomination said, has to be earmarked. So then once the deadline, December 31st, 2026. So all those projects has to be built or else it goes back to the federal government. What I'm hearing now is that, well, what's going on in Winter Rock is the president's now saying that he wants that to go to hardship, the rest of the funding and things like that. So, but I think the controller and the legislative branch from the speaker, they're saying that that's already been discussed. So I don't know what the future's gonna do like for these other funding stuff. But that's one source of, and then the other, we talked about the HISIN funds, and there's other things and stuff that's.
Anybody else? All right, yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
I have some information if you.
All right, motion to accept the reports. Ruby, Carrie, Renee. 决定吃的是，我是随便的。
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's take it to a vote. 这都吃的to accept the reports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 in favor. Opposition. Sergeant Oyagi. Abstention. Send that target. 1, 2. 0 opposing. Auto budget report table from October's meeting, and it's still on table. So, auto 11 announcements. Nas December 8th na da. Ado December 16th o Etso. Etso administration when we can't they are that solid that they are that ada Etso in the so da da ne ri che Etso da da ne chen ada e da na ta da na sin Etso da ben ni sin yes we Etso da no. Ado food demonstration 10 a.m. December 16th 2025 chapter administration chen ada the Ado Ugly Sweater Walk, 10 a.m., December 18th, 2025, Chapter Administration Ground. Auto Utah Heat Assistant from Utah residents available at the Chapter Administration. Auto Red Feather Assistance Forms available at the Chapter Administration. Auto Chapter Vacancy, bank, heavy equipment operator, Auto Carpenter Supervisor. Auto carpenters, 3. Auto 2 laborers. Auto maintenance guy. But auto December 25th, 2025, Christmas Day chapter is closed. Auto memo date. Agina Hoshada. Some stage in the Hazano from Anjit, not Hashin that in the shoulder. January 1st, 2026, New Year's, Auto upcoming schedule meetings, regular meeting 10 a.m. December 14th, today, Monument Valley. Our next planning meeting, the January 4th, 10 a.m. Auto regular chapter meeting, January 11th, 2025, 10 a.m. Auto Nana district raising meeting, 10 a.m. December 12th, Chichimbi Auto Nana permittee December 29th, 2025, time location TBA. Western Navajo Agency grazing, 10 a.m. December 19th, 2025, Tiba City, Arizona. Western Agency BIA conference room. Auto Club C meeting, 10 a.m. December 21st, 2025, Oljato Administration Building. Auto Veterans, 6 p.m. December 11th, 2025 at Monument Valley, Utah Welcome Center. Auto Housing Committee, TBA. Auto Western Navajo Agency Council, 9 a.m. December 13th, 2025, Flagstaff, Arizona. Hey, Donna Nas, nice, 9 o'clock a.m., January 3rd, 2025, Monument Valley, Utah Welcome Center. Issue for the Nazisando, Jet Hodo, Kindo Shanto. Issue for the host that the president, Yande, Village, Curly, Shampoo, or Kinda. As a president, chapter president, middle not president. The secretary treasurer, as I think now I think conference room that's hadn't data. Usually we get it from the school or here. Dishing, which hasn't all not seen other room had it. Chiando, I think can send off our administration that we send off that or that's all. Out you guys are welcome to attend. It's not all. That's all. January 3rd, Saturday, 1.5.
26.
Oh, 20. Oh, 2026. Board of Trustee and the Advisory Committee meeting. UNTF combined 9 a.m. January 16th, Bland in Utah, UNTF conference room. Navajo Revitalization Funds, TBA. 25th Navajo Nation Council Winter Session, January 26th, 30 to the 30th, 2026, Winter Rock, Arizona, Navajo Nation Council Chambers. You can go in there in person, then you can sit in. But you can listen. Facebook YouTube behind it. They have meetings now.
That one's scheduled for the Welcome Center unless you want to move it to the high school.
So,
With an off.
right, Shane, it's up to you. You can get with the school. They let us use that too. In the
What would you
cafeteria.
prefer?
Probably over there if there's gonna be a lot of people.
Okay.
How do yeah, elementary? Or the high school, elementary, just. Well, whatever, yeah, whatever you guys, because this is a small room,
Mm-hmm.
although,
I'm asking so that I could cancel for the Welcome Center. That's all.
okay. Although, planning meeting, I don't have any question, although adjournment. 4:14. Motion, to adjourn the meeting,
Wait,
Barbara,
Barbara
although
who?
second. Harrison. Squeeze out,
Barbara who?
Barbara, Janita. Although, yeah, no, yeah,
No.
although one second, it's up, yeah. That's the internet stuff, teacher, so. Although, coach was not Jado, out at the end of it, all then had. And had a come, they had here, and had cancer, no. Other point, no, you have your afternoon, no. Merry Christmas, so Happy New Year. Although, straight up, I was in with that, couldn't. Hit him with the, yeah.
Who is the last name? Harrison who?
Although, vote,
So.
Okay.
What
vote, one,
Report number?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Your
11, 12,
report
13,
number is
17, 19, 20.
9.24.
22,
Under
Item 25.
presentation.
Exactly.
Yes.
26, exactly.
9.2.
27. 27 in favor. Votando Sinisha. 19. 0.
So it's under present, so it's
Zero
under
abstentions.
reports, and then it's gonna be presentation, like a subsection presentation, and then 9.2.
Yeah. Yeah.
9.9.
Although, should the answer not to speak at that, what was your call? I know it's that, I think that's what